Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mediak podcast. And today is going to be very different because the goal is to get two podcasts out this week. Today, we are going to be talking about Oppenheimer. And then later this week, we will be talking about Barbie. So, to make so that there is like enough content for two podcasts, this episode, we are going to just talk about Mediak stuff and Jujutsu Kaisen after Oppenheimer. And then next episode with Barbie is where we're going to talk about everything else we watch in the news. So that's how I decided to split it up. So I know that Skylar is shaking with excitement
Absolutely
to talk about this movie. So I won't delay it anymore and jump right into it. Skylar, what did you think?
I thought it was fantastic.
Me
It
too, man.
honestly might be my pick for movie of the year.
Really? Oh wow.
Maybe.
Over Spider-Verse for you?
Yeah.
I know
right
you're a
now,
big
yeah.
fan
That
of
was
that guy.
fantastic. Yeah.
Sorry, my camera is very
I
bright.
was, but like as time went on, I just get more mad because it keeps getting pushed back and my hopes keep getting more diminished.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I was thinking. Like everyone was like, "It's so exciting because the third one is going to be good." But what if
You
it's
never
not?
Yeah. But Oppenheimer, oh my goodness.
It was really good.
Yeah.
There was like I feel as though there might be a small group of people who might not enjoy the movie because of the length, but I never really felt the length. I felt like the movie kind of flew by because I was so interested in everything going on. But it is a very talky movie, so if people can't stay awake for 3 hours of just sitting there, then this might not be for you. But I felt like every single other person on the planet would enjoy this. It's a fantastic fucking film.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to Lily. I was like, so it was like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but the pacing felt good.
Dude,
It
it was
felt like
so
it was like,
fast, but it didn't. It wasn't like confusing fast. It was like fast.
yeah.
And I was recently I was watching Moise video on Oppenheimer, and he said that a problem that he thought with the movie was that he couldn't remember the names. But like, I am really bad with names. Skylar can attest to that. It is like probably the worst thing in my like skill set. I can't remember names for the life of me. But I never felt like I was very confused during this film. So I, I don't know. You have the main names that you need to know. They repeat them enough that you know them. And that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too.
Yeah,
Like all
exactly.
the like
You don't
main
need to know
people, I knew their
every
name.
single like. I don't know the name of Jack Quaid, but he didn't play a large enough role in the movie for me to need to know his name. But like I know Teller, I know Strauss. I know.
Strauss.
Yeah, I know Oppenheimer. I know his wife. I just like that's all you need to. That's it.
There were so many cameos in this one
I
that
know,
I did
right?
not know were there.
I know,
Like
right?
RDJ was awesome.
Oh, you didn't know he was in this?
No, I didn't. I didn't know anything.
I did. I
I
knew.
walked in, I was like, oh.
I knew
Awesome.
I knew that the cast was very large, and I knew that Robert Downey Jr. was in it because he said that this was the most enjoyable movie he's ever acted in, and I can totally understand that because he like, I mean, everyone in the movie just absolutely acted their shit. Like it was the craziest thing on the planet.
It was.
Cillian Murphy, wow, God,
Yeah,
insane,
absolutely
wow,
fantastic.
holy crap.
Yeah,
We could get back to him in a second, but the cameo bit, I didn't know Jack Quaid was in the movie. He's an actor I like. He's from The Boys, and I saw him, and I was like, oh, that's really fun. And G wasn't aware that that Josh Peck was in the movie. There's just so many guys. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he just like popped his head, and I was like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Was it? There was one scene. Well, is there a scene that you liked in particular? I'll ask you first before I sing.
I'm gonna sorry real quick before I.
You can pick like a couple if you need.
No, I was moving my mouse off of the stop recording button so that I don't accidentally click that. But
yeah.
So I feel like an obvious one, like the bare minimum obvious one is whenever the bomb is tested. Oh wait, we should spoilers, kind of.
If they clicked it, they know.
Yeah. If you guys know who we are, then that's just kind of how it is. Yeah, but
yeah, future Zach.
I
Make sure to edit in spoilers.
No, not happening. Just saying, I'm not doing that. Not that's too much work. I might put the spoiler in the TikTok, but I'm not gonna warn them. I just don't think that's worth it. Um, but yeah, that bomb going off scene is just absolutely fantastic because the the massive delay and just seeing the plume just like bellow over the screen, and then right afterwards whenever the entire theater is just shaking because of how loud it is, he gives his line, the I am become death or whatever it is, and it's just really, it's perfect. um
Yeah.
the other scene that comes to mind is whenever he's being interrogated, and he's like I guess having PTSD from the bomb, and it's like it's going off in that room and everything's becoming white. I really like that scene because like Cillian Murphy's like just his face, such a good actor.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't control any of those muscles enough to do anything that he did in this movie.
What would you say? So would you also put like whenever he's like by the rock? Would you put that scene up there too? Whenever he's by the rock after?
Like shaking. I mean,
Yeah,
okay, that's not personally one of my favorite scenes in the movie, but I do understand completely where you're coming from with that because his acting was
that's not mine.
monstrous. What?
That's not mine.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no, I agree. Him and Emily Blunt in that scene were just absolutely incredible. I don't. There's not a single bad performance in this movie, not at all. And I think it's because they all had fun on set.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah,
It was so good. I genuinely don't think I've seen half of those actors act as good as they
I know,
did.
right? Oh my god, like.
Like even RDJ, I'd even say that's like that's like one of his top performances,
Oh,
if
without a
not.
doubt. I couldn't agree more. Damn it. I had something I was gonna say right before you said that and it's completely gone from my head. Hmm.
Okay, then I can do my scene.
Yeah, go ahead.
My scene is at the very end whenever like the Strauss calls in the press and then he opens
Oh
up
yeah.
the door.
Oh yeah, and then
That
he
was
smiles immediately and he just goes right
yeah,
into like politics. That was great. I love
yeah.
that.
And then he calls in his like news reporter friend and then he gets absolutely bashed.
It's so good, man. Ah,
Yeah.
dude.
It was so good. What did
Another one. I just thought of another really like fantastic scene. The moment where Emily Blunt was being interrogated, like, oh,
I don't like your phrasing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was so
I don't
good.
like your phrasing.
She was so badass, man.
This
That
is
was
how I
so
phrased it.
cool.
It
Cause
was.
I
You
knew
kind of
she was
owned.
I knew she was gonna be sick. Like I knew she was gonna do something dope because she kept yelling at Oppenheimer to actually like nut
Same.
up, and I knew I she was like the second she sat down, I was like, oh, she's gonna get him, and it was just so
Yeah.
satisfying the way that she did it.
Yeah. Like, I know it's a movie, but she legitimately like, if that was, like, a real thing, she would like, that was torn to shreds. Like, everything that he
This
had,
was a pretty
she would,
real.
like,
Okay,
instantly got it.
I,
Like,
I, I, I do gotta say, as biopics go, this is a pretty accurate one. I don't know much about what they said in that room, but I do know that like all of them did talk in that because World War II history is one of my favorite like sections of history, so I do know a decent amount of like Oppenheimer's stuff, and I didn't really think of anything that was like necessarily wrong. So I feel like he kind of followed the script of reality pretty well. Just told it in a
yeah.
really fun way. Is like the me and G were talking about it after the movie. The way that the story was told, with the just the bouncing back and forth between the two different storylines with
I
Robert
liked
Downey
it.
Jr.'s. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't confusing at all, and it essentially was two different like court hearings at
Yeah.
two different times where Oppenheimer was telling his side of the story, and RDJ's character was telling his side of the story. And RDJ, whenever he would talk about a story, it would be black and white. And they did that so that it wouldn't be confusing whenever they would revisit certain scenes, because then it would be like overlapping of the two stories, but it wouldn't be confusing because you'd understand what point of view it was from. It was honestly genius. It really was.
Yeah. Um, I kinda like how they were, like, setting up, like, Strauss to, like obviously, like, if going into it, like, without, like, thinking, like, "Oh, it's already
Yeah,
happened." Like, they were, like, setting up, like, Strauss as, like, he's, like, a supporting character,
I
and then
know,
at the end,
right?
they come in and just, like, switch, and
It
he's,
was
like, the
so
big
good.
guy who's controlling
It was
everything at the
so
end.
good.
It
Like
was.
even if even on a rewatch, I guarantee you're going to love it. Like knowing that like what happens at the end of the movie, because it's gonna feel it's just such a well done movie.
I'm honestly debating on buying it again
I
because I
I
want to
probably
watch it
will. I'm
again.
not gonna lie. I
Yeah, I honestly might cave, like, even if I just throw it on the background, like, another scene that, like, I didn't mention before, but I really liked is whenever he goes to his brother to give up his kid, and he's like, "I'm
mm,
such an awful person." Like,
yeah,
going
that
about that, how he's already, like, thinking about, like, everything he's done, and he's like, you
yeah.
can already tell,
Well,
like, it
he is
kinda,
the
like,
weight
sets
of
the
the
mood.
world on his shoulders. Like
Yeah.
he is the only person that has the ability to at this point in his mindset just to stop this war because he's either like I can either make this and we can compete or like they make it eventually. It's so complex that no one can understand what he was thinking at that time. It is incredible. And Cillian Murphy really gets that off in his performance. The way that he just like is there.
Genuinely, it
It's
was
so
fantastic. That was
good. Holy
that
crap.
might be the actual like, I know, like, this is probably gonna sound exaggerated, but I don't think I can name a better performance,
It's
like, that I've seen, at
it's
least
one of the
recently.
best. It's one of the best at least the recent times. It
Yeah, like, I mean, one that comes to mind is, like, Heath Ledger,
yeah, oh yeah, he did great.
but, like,
It's just it's a different kind of thing, you know? It
yeah,
really is. It's just
it's very different.
this is like a real person who is unbelievably complex and no one on the planet can possibly understand. I'm not justifying anything he did because he was still an asshole in a good bit of his life, but he was in a certain spot in history where it was just unrepeatable and like crazy. So and
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy really got that off and blanking Christopher Nolan had incredible writing to support this
I don't know.
wonderful story.
Does that man even
Well,
need
no,
a team? Just
I
let
mean,
him
what
just
one?
do everything. Take it just let Christopher Nolan take his time, do whatever he wants. Have him set off, like,
See,
5 more bombs if he needs. I
here's the
mean, that was
thing.
awesome.
I wanted to. This okay. Did you know he said that he wanted there to be as little CGI as possible,
Yeah.
and that the bomb was not CG. I what?
Yeah, I did know that.
I want to see the behind the scenes of this movie so badly. I want to know how he made the bomb, and I want to see how he made the Earth on fire scene. If there's not much CG in the movie, I'm just like I'm really confused.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the Earth on Fire one, that might be the little CG he's referring
That
to.
better be because like I don't know what the hell
Because
he's
if that's
doing with
not true,
that.
then what is happening?
Yeah, I well, okay. My head was like he probably used a model like a little Earth and then lit it on fire, but it wouldn't look like that.
No, it's a real
So
one.
I don't. Yeah, he lit the real Earth on fire. Yeah,
He's taking advantage of all the forest fires.
he just flew over Australia.
Um,
That's sad
but
and mean. Sorry.
yeah, I did know I like, the only thing I remember is that the bomb was not CG. Like,
Yeah,
he launched an actual bomb, and that made that scene so much better in
it
my
really
eyes, like,
was.
knowing that, like, that was an actual bomb, and they all got to see an actual bomb go off. So all of their reactions were probably honest.
You know what makes me really happy?
The
So
fact that they didn't repeat it, that, like, I hopefully they got that in one take.
yeah, honestly, I really hope they did.
I didn't even think about that until now.
No, I think that so Christopher Nolan has always been like a particular kind of like he always makes really good movies, but a lot of people get into him just with the Dark Knight and stuff. And this is a very wordy movie, and it makes me really excited because this is one of no, okay. So I think this is the highest box office other than a Batman movie for Christopher Nolan, which is incredible because it is one of the most talky movies there is. There's nothing going on but talking in it. And I really hope
Mhm.
that will like inspire other people to like watch more movies like this because they're really good, at least in my opinion.
Well, I mean, if you can manage to replicate Christopher Nolan's
Okay, not
genius.
like up to this scale, but like it's like
Yeah,
getting someone into anime by showing them Jujutsu Kaisen, you know?
or yeah, or like the Naruto, like the
Yeah,
basics.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Like ones that you know that are gonna get people interested in the type of series. But if you
yeah,
do go into
but
this movie expecting it to be like
a lot
just
of action.
dropping bombs,
Do
it's
not.
probably not what it's about.
Yeah. I wanna ask your thoughts on the ending. Like, particularly the pond scene with Albert Einstein and, Oppenheimer at the end, whenever you
uh,
figure out what they actually talked about.
Okay, remind me again, what was the exact words that they said?
So it's Strauss going, "They're talking about me. They were talking about
Yes, I
me.
knew that.
Oppenheimer turned him against me." And then they're like, "What if he wasn't talking about you at all? What if he was talking about something more important?" And then Einstein's like, well, he's like, or it like starts with Oppenheimer saying, "Do you remember the calculations I showed you? And that like
Hmm.
there's a small chance we like set the world on fire." And he's like, "Well, did it happen?" And
Oh,
he
and he
was
said,
like,
"Yeah, I did already, or it's
he's
already."
like, "No, but it's like we
Yeah,
just ended the world."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that it's just that's something that I really hope got across to a lot of people. Like, I remember whenever I was a kid, I never really understood. I thought I understood, but I never really understood how dangerous the nuke is, or the H bomb that followed it, because it's not just like an explosion. It's radiation and stuff that's on like a different scale and affected our atmosphere, even to like nowadays it's barely repairing from just the two bombs that we dropped. The atom bomb and the H bomb are just definitely two very incredible things that we should have never made, and we should have never needed to make. And I hope that this movie really shows people that, because I think they did a really great job of showing the atrocities that is that.
I think they did too, showing, like, the actual devastation that, like,
Mm,
everybody was going through, like, not only whenever they dropped it and, like, a little bit after, but,
yeah,
like, way after. But I honestly think that might have been the perfect ending for the movie. I
yeah.
don't know if I'd
Honestly,
want it to end any other way.
I agree
Like, I
completely. It was
loved
so
the
beautiful.
ending with the Albert
Yeah,
Einstein scene.
it's
I
there. It was how
It
it
was
was
perfect.
supposed to end. I really that's something that Christopher Nolan does a lot in his movies, is have the movies like completely out of order. But it wasn't confusing at all, especially with this one. And ending in that way is just so conclusive, because that was pretty early on whenever they made that
They
Chekhov
showed it, like,
gun.
3 times.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I meant like the first time they showed it.
Oh, yeah, it was, like, really early on.
Yeah,
It was, like, whenever they were trying to get him into the school.
yeah. I can't tell because the pacing of this movie was so great that the 3 hours went by in a snap.
Yeah, it was so good.
You know what's
Like,
funny? I remembered the thing that I said I wanted to say earlier, but then I just forgot it.
what did you think of the soundtrack? I thought the soundtrack was
Oh, Ludwig
awesome.
Göransson! He's great. He's fantastic. Uh, Actually, I just remembered the thing I was gonna say, and it'll connect with the soundtrack. So I really wanted to be a contrarian on this movie. I really didn't want to like it. Not because I don't like the topic or I don't like Christopher Nolan, but it's because I didn't like Tenet in that movie specifically. And I was like, I need to be
You're that
very.
much of a hater of Tenet that you're willing to sacrifice all future movies? That's insane.
No, I just wanted to keep
There's
it
no
going. I
way
wanted
that
to keep the train going. I wanted to keep the me not liking Christopher Nolan movies going. But no, it was just Tenet. This movie is fantastic, and he continued using Ludwig Göransson from Tenet. And one thing I did think from Tenet was absolutely fantastic was the soundtrack. He had to switch from Hans Zimmer, is it Hans Zimmerman, because he was doing Dune, and he's continuing to do Dune in Dune 2. So he needed a new composer, so he used Ludwig Göransson again, and it was fantastic. It was so good. It was so good in this movie. He killed it again. I'm going to add more of these soundtracks to my workout playlist. I'm very excited.
Um, did you were well, I'll phrase it like this. Were you a fan of all of the scenes? Like, some of, like, the stomping would come in
Yeah,
before the
man,
scene ended,
dude.
and it, like, led in.
Yeah,
I
it was so
loved that.
good because
It
like
was so good.
on
And
a
then, like,
rewatch, this movie is gonna be so satisfying because the whenever those pop into his head, it's like that's what he's thinking in that moment. He's remembering that scene. So now that we have that scene to remember, whenever that little flash comes in there, we're gonna be able to, like, I guess this is gonna sound so cringy, but like feel what Oppenheimer was feeling in that moment with that memory. It's gonna be really cool. I'm excited to watch it again.
um, I'm very excited.
Yeah,
I don't know when it's gonna release to, like,
I'm gonna go see it in theaters again.
honestly, very
It
understandable.
it's made enough money already, so like,
Yeah.
I'm not my extra $15 isn't gonna.
Make or break.
Yeah.
Yeah. But another scene. Oh, yeah, yeah, it's a scene. But it was like a whenever he was in like the auditorium giving like a speech, like we
Oh,
did it.
dude,
Like I only wish we launched it sooner, and like everything
dude.
like that. And he's like flashing like in and out, and he's
Yeah,
having like the like bomb like
yeah.
PTSD in his head.
And it's like
Fantastic.
it's
Absolutely fantastic. And then
it's
he's like
so good,
walking
man.
away and he
Yeah, and
kind
they're
of looks
like
like
patting him
almost
on the
like
back, and he's
crying.
like, "I shouldn't. This is terrible. I like
Yeah,
I." He's come. Oh, it's so good because
it was.
Killian Murphy is getting out so many emotions in how complex his thought process and reaction to the bomb dropping was. It was so good. Ah, so good.
I was also
We also love
so
a little bit of
beginning
government corruption. That's always fun.
at the beginning, I was not a fan of was he a sergeant? General, the
Matt
general,
Damon.
probably.
I liked
I
him. I liked it. I liked him until didn't
I didn't
he?
like him at the beginning, but the more I saw of him, the more I liked him. Whenever he was like, before he was just like, I'm a tough guy to be a tough guy,
Yeah, that's
but
fair. I
like,
liked
and
him
then
whenever
like
he was
I
an
I loved
engineer.
it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like the part that really sold it for me whenever they were in the like the trial or
Hmm.
that and he was like defending him. He's like, no, I never had like a doubt. Like all the security checks like weren't going through. And he's like, I trust this. Yeah, like everything like
Yeah.
that. It was such a good movie.
Obviously, it hurts your heart a little bit that whenever he said the no, but he couldn't lie to them, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
it hurt your heart. But
yeah,
he's like, but I wouldn't pass any of them on
yeah,
this.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
like he tried everything he could with keeping his rank. So
yeah.
I had big respect for the guy. Matt Damon
Eh,
did a really good job too. Like we said,
I
we
agree.
gave praise to. Well, you didn't even know it was Matt Damon, I guess.
Well, everybody in the movie did great. So no matter who
Yeah,
you say, I'm gonna say that he
yeah.
great. It was
Obviously,
fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was all
Was
believable.
it? I didn't know Christopher Nolan. I knew he produced,
Mhm.
right? Right?
No, he directs.
Okay. Well, I knew he directed the movie. I did not know he wrote for the movie
He
too.
writes a couple. He wrote Tenet, I believe,
But I didn't know he did
and
that. So I got to
Memento.
the end. I was like, "Oh wait,
Probably
this
both.
man did both."
Yeah.
Like,
He also produced it, which means he put a lot of money into it and
but I
kept a
mean,
track of everything. The guy's a genius.
well worth it. Also, I don't get the complaints about. I think it who was the one chick that everybody's complaining about? Is it Florence
No one was
LaPue?
complaining about her. I before the
They were
movie
complaining
came
at the
out.
scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, before the movie came out, there was a lot of reviews that were saying that there was a lot of egregious sex scenes, and a couple of them specifically said they were like 15 minutes long. So I went into this movie expecting there to be just like one very long, uncomfortable sex scene, but there's like two nude scenes. One of them's like 30 seconds long and is barely.
There's
It's not really.
there's 3 or 4.
There's three or four. I think of
Because
the one
there's
at the beginning
one,
and then the one in the room.
and then there's one in the hotel.
Those are connected. I feel the one in the hotel is connected with the one in the room. Doesn't it happen at the same time?
I have no idea. I remember the one in like the
Yeah, the
courtroom.
courtroom and the
I think it
one in the
might be
hotel. I
connected.
think they happen
Yeah.
at the same time.
Oh my god! Whenever she was looking over her shoulder at
Yeah,
his wife,
dude,
I
that
was like,
hurt my
oh
heart. That hurt my heart. I was like,
yeah,
fuck,
me too. I was like, oh my
Jesus.
goodness.
That it
I
was,
also like
but that adds to the point though. Like that scene in particular, I feel like couldn't have been cut because it was so vital to how Emily Blunt's character was feeling
yeah.
in that moment as he was describing that.
But I didn't feel like they were. I don't
I
want to say this,
wasn't.
but like not sounded weird. I didn't. I thought they were kind of necessary. No,
They were
not
necessary.
necessary.
Well, I mean, the first
Like
one is like
it fit
you
with the
could
story.
find a different way for him to get his catchphrase, but if
Yeah,
that's how he got it, then that's how he got it. You know, I don't know if
yeah.
that's
Can't
how he
even
got it. I don't know that part of the story.
But like they I expected much worse.
Me
Going
too.
into it, hearing those
I
reviews, I expected it to be like not borderline unwatchable, but make me feel
Me
uncomfortable in
too.
the theater.
Like
And
they
I
were
didn't
like
feel uncomfortable.
one of the reviews was like you might have to like go to the restroom, and I was like maybe if it's like 15 if it's just a 15-minute long straight sex scene I'm like maybe if it's uncomfortable enough I'll go to the restroom, but like both of them are pretty integral to the story. I feel like if you missed out on them you'd be a little bit confused, or not
Yeah,
confused,
because
you'd
like
just be You missed out on a scene.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, could there have been some changes? Maybe, but,
No,
like, do I think they need to be changed? No, like,
definitely not the
I don't
second
want it to
one.
sound, like, creepy, but,
It's not creepy. That's kind of
like,
necessary to the story.
yeah, I feel like it was important to, like, understand more,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess.
it showed how much like his cheating like affected them, and I really enjoyed. Well, I guess enjoyed. It's really sad, but it was a good detail whenever he went to. It was something we didn't know at the point in the movie, but whenever he walked up to her after that scene and was like, "I didn't say anything you didn't know," and it just
Mhm.
shows that this kind of effect that he and this kind of thing that he did has a very long lasting effect, even many years afterwards on Emily Blunt, even with what happened. So it was a really good way to show how her character was affected by his how do they phrase it? I don't know. His cheating. I was trying to think of
Yeah.
something better.
Um, I don't well, you definitely caught it, but, like, the other scene where it's like they said he died of a broken heart because you had an affair with his wife, and then he's like, "Well, that's preposterous, he never found out,"
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah.
Like, I was
I
like,
thought that was
"Man."
fantastic.
Yeah, I was like, "That is, like, a good little quip that I'd kind of
Yeah,
expect."
it is.
Yeah. I don't even know what else to say, it was just
It's
such a good movie, it's
fantastic, man.
100% worth a
If you
watch.
haven't seen it, like go.
Honestly.
See, here's the thing. This is the first weekend, and I would not be shocked if everyone who would listen to this has seen the movie already. Because the reason why we're not doing actually no, that's not necessarily true. Because I guarantee if I also saw Barbie on Sunday, I would still request to switch up the podcast and the two different things because I just have so much I want to say about this movie in particular. So I wasn't able to get tickets for Barbie because of how packed both theaters were for Oppenheimer and Barbie. But we'll talk about Barbie more. Barbie's made an unbelievable amount of money. We can talk about that whenever we get to that. But Oppenheimer has also made an unbelievable amount of money. Not nearly as much as Barbie for some reason, but just in its opening weekend alone, it's made back its budget and then some. And it's unbelievable. We barely found seats like to this theater, and no one ever goes to the theater by my house, but it was packed. Just it's
I
crazy.
I feel like so Barbie clearly has its target audience, and it's pretty
Obviously,
much like you know what the Barbie target audience is. I don't need to explain that to you. Oppenheimer has a more narrow target
it's
audience.
because of the meme.
Like
They got lucky. I'm
Barbenheimer.
I'm being and being 100% honest. It's one the reason why both of these movies are selling as good as they are. Like I guarantee that both of them would have sold good in their own right without the meme. But the reason why it's so incredible is because Greta Gerwig was just copying whatever Christopher Nolan was doing with Oppenheimer, and then that obviously made people like start making jokes about it because it's like a super dark movie and a super happy movie coming out at the same time. They just got really lucky that it became super mainstream. At least in Barbie's case, I guarantee Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer would have made a shit ton of money, but Barbie would not have made the money that it made because it is making unbelievable amounts of money right now. If the meme was not there, here's the thing. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm incredibly excited for it. I really think it's going to be a fantastic movie, and I don't want.
I've already seen it.
I know Skylar's going
I,
to have
I
to be quiet.
I've already seen it. Yeah.
I don't want me saying that I don't think it would have made money. As much money, uh, making me think I don't think it's going to be a good movie. But the amount of money that it has made in the last 3 days is just it's like beyond Marvel level.
Um. Okay, but back to
Sorry.
Oppenheimer, so we don't go crazy about
Yeah,
Barbie,
we can
or
talk about that
because like
later.
I'm like barely holding it in right
No,
now.
I understand, man. I'm sorry.
But Oppenheimer's like target audience was so small, but
Yeah.
I genuinely feel as though anybody can watch it and
Hmm.
anybody can love it.
Without a doubt,
It is
it is.
genuinely beyond its target audience. It is
It's true.
fantastic. Would
I
you like to start ratings?
Yes. It's just yeah. We can start rating. Sorry, I was gonna go more. It's like it's a true story. It's literally hits everything you could ever want in a movie.
You can go first. I don't
I'm
know.
thinking, man. Like this is a hard one.
I really don't know. Like I know what
Gee,
it's gonna be around,
I
but I
always
don't know
have
what
I always have an initial review. Like I have an initial feeling right whenever I leave the movie, and I always I give a number to G in Austin every single time I leave a movie. But yesterday, whenever G was like, "What's your rating?" I said, "I don't know. I need to think on it more. It's a 3 hour movie. I need to remember all the scenes." And she goes, "That's super fair." And now, right now, I have no idea. I don't
was
know.
it. My initial rating, like straight out of the theater, was like an 8. But
Eight.
I keep thinking on it, and I'm like, I really liked that
I
movie.
feel like an eight never entered my head. Like
What did you have?
it was either between 9 or 10. I feel.
Well, that's what I'm between right now, and I don't know because I want to try and give like
I want
110
to give
for
it
the
a 10,
year.
but I just don't. I don't
I don't
think
know.
I don't think it's perfect. But I don't know what I would take out of it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the
That's where I'm at. Like,
problem.
I want to give one movie a 10 out of 10 this year, and I'm
Yeah.
like, is this gonna be the best movie I've watched all year? And
No,
I'm like, I
it's
don't
definitely
know if
Puss
it
in
is.
Boots. I'm
But I
sorry.
don't
Well, no,
know.
that's way worse. I feel like it's definitely Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots might be it, but I don't know. I really do not know.
That's fair.
Like, I'm gonna have to
Um,
rewatch Puss in Boots again, but like, I feel like I have to give it like a 9.5. Like,
no. Okay, we could go with a
I,
9.5 for right now.
I don't know.
That's our
Like,
tentative
I don't want to
answer.
like, yeah, because I don't want to say 9 because 9 feels too low, but 10
Yeah.
feels too high. So I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
And like,
that
I don't
sounds
want to say
good.
like 9.9 because that's but
Yeah.
like 9.5. I feel like
9.5 sounds fine,
9.5
I
to
guess.
9.6.
Yes. I am
Yeah, the only
9.6.
movie
What?
I don't know. Like,
No, go
it might be
point
slightly
five.
better.
I'm not doing any decimals of one. Not gonna do that. Multiples of
That's
five.
fine. The only movie that I might have over it right now is like
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots. It does pass my So I started a recent new gold standard. It is Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. If it is better than that movie, it gets a pass. If it is worse, it fails.
So
This
what
movie
number what
passes.
so I know we're doing Zombie Island in the future. So this is gonna be a little bit of a spoiler. But what out of 10 do you give Zombie Island?
Maybe like a
Like make
7.
it objective as possible. No nostalgia. Because this is the gold standard, so it got to be better than this.
Um, I haven't watched it in a really long time. You see, the soundtrack for it is so
It's so,
good.
dude, it's so good. I do got to say that.
You know what? I like. I don't know. Maybe unobjective. Maybe like a. With my bias, it's a 10. Without my
Yeah,
bias,
see that's why I had you go in there because it can't be a 10
maybe
because you
like
can't be
a.
better than that.
I feel like a 7 feels
You
right
know,
to me.
that's what
I
I was
really like.
thinking too. But I
Yeah,
haven't seen the movie
it's
since
higher
I
than a
was a
7.
kid, so
Yeah, me
I didn't
neither.
want to have a horse in the race. I do remember it being really good though.
Yeah.
All right,
Um,
do you want to transition into
JJK.
yeah. But before that, I think
We should give spoilers for this because this is not going to be in the
yeah,
title.
this is definitely we're gonna talk about JJK spoilers for the
The
episode
episodes
two
2
and
and 3.
three. We're probably also gonna talk about one too because that connects, obviously.
They all pretty connect.
Yeah, and it's pretty spoil heavy, even though it is 3 episodes in. So just
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on, and like obviously, I have not read the manga. I would like to say that I'm only caught up
yeah,
with the anime.
I don't want to read the
Um,
manga.
I want to read it as I have been told. Whenever the season ends, I will
Okay,
want to know more.
I guess that's fair. I feel like me and G will be in
Yeah,
the same boat.
of
Before we talk about
very.
JJK though, can I talk about some Mediac updates?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Spoilers for Mediak.
Spoilers for Mediac. So within a week of today, I will be uploading a video, and I know last podcast I was like, I don't want to say what I'm doing because then I won't do it, but I'm so far along in the process now that I only need about like 8 or 9 hours of work to finish it. So I have put well more than eight or 9 hours of work into it already. So I'm just like, well, I'm already basically at the finish line, so I'll just finish it. So I'm making a video about I'm gonna start a series talking about One Piece and going through the different sagas. So I'm talking about East Blue first. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the live action trailer because that is the East Blue Saga. So I'll give my opinions on that and that. I don't know if I'll continue doing that. My serotonin is telling me to make a video on Call of Duty Zombies. So I think that's the next thing I'm gonna do. But I will continue that if people like it. But I do think the next thing I'm gonna make is Call of Duty Zombies related because I really want to play that again because it's really fun and I like it. Other than that, as you guys might have noticed over the last couple episodes, Jack has not been here on the podcast, and he will not be returning for the time being. But maybe in like a year, he might come back. But he just does not have the time to do it anymore, which is quite sad. But it is
It is.
okay. We left on good terms. He is still a good friend of mine.
Not
Skylar
me.
is here.
That's me.
Skylar's pissed. Skylar hates him. What other updates do I have?
Oh, well, Barbie's coming out. And
Yeah,
then
we're doing the Barbie one
new
next week.
guest.
Oh, I mentioned it earlier, but we made a TikTok. It's mainly just like a little highlight from from the episodes. So go like that if you support us. Also, nope, that's it.
A potential new guest if you want to.
Oh yeah,
Introduce.
Corey might be coming on in next week. For Kung Fu Panda 2. He won't be on for Barbie though, so he'll be on for Kung Fu Panda 2.
The Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2 are very split due to unforeseen circumstances coming on.
Well, it's because
So,
of Oppenheimer
it's
and
'cause
Barbie, and I did zero planning because I haven't done planning for the podcast since sophomore year of college. So it's just too much shit's happening, man. I'm just trying my best here. I just work here. I don't know.
facts. Shout out to Ethan Wright at
Yeah,
Mike Higgins
exactly.
Auto Body.
Mike Higgins,
But
I just work here, man.
we also would like to get Corey on since he is a
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda fanatic.
He's the expert. He's the Kung Fu Panda expert. So we really want to get him on. So we're trying to push back stuff so that he's able to go with us.
Yeah, at least be there for at least 2, if not 2 and 3.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we got that out of the way, we can talk about
JJK.
JJK. Also, if you guys want me to stream my zombies games, I'll do that. But I won't do it unless people ask for it. But I will be recording them so I can edit it. So. I'll put highlights, I guess, on TikTok if I do something cool.
Okay, I would like to open up and say this is spoilers for JJK.
Big ol'
episodes
spoilers
2
for
and 3.
the new show.
What?
Well, it's the new season.
Yeah.
Big ol' spoilers for it. If you like
Yeah.
the first season, then you'll probably want to watch these 3 episodes before listening to us goobers talk about it.
Yeah, and I forget the schedule. This might be the end. This might be the ending segment. So I don't know.
This is the
if it'll be
Eggman.
one
Yeah,
after
this is
the
the
other.
last. This is the last
If you
segment
have
of
not
this
watched-
podcast, and then we'll have another one probably. I don't know when. I don't know exactly what day we will have it, but we will have another podcast out this week. I guarantee it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying
So
that to
if
the
you have
audience.
not
Do
watched-
you listen? Sorry.
Yeah. If you have not watched, you are good to click off.
Yeah, and that you can stop listening, but we would really appreciate if you paused it, watched the episodes, and then came back to us instead of just stopping and listening.
Yeah, then you can talk to us through your
Yeah,
computer screen. It'd be
exactly. We're your friends, personally. We're your friends. So,
All right.
before
we start. Before we start, I kept telling you that in episode 2.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
That made me laugh a lot. What was it?
Okay, me and G were trying to think of it. You said it was Gojo related, right?
It was.
We thought of a couple of them because we were like, Skylar is an interesting man.
All right.
We were like, he will think a lot of things are funny. We will just try to spitball a bunch of them out and see which one is Skylar's favorite scene. And I was like, it's definitely whenever he did the red, and then was like, I failed. But G was like,
No. I did like that scene though, but that is not the one.
I thought it was really funny. Fuck.
And I failed.
Yeah. I had a different guess. I don't remember it, but G's guess was whenever Gojo is kicking the water like a little kid, because he was like, she thought that you would think that's adorable and think it's funny.
I did think it was adorable. That was
Yeah.
not it either.
Okay, let's hear it, Skylar.
It was whenever he took a selfie with the person he beat up.
Yes! Oh, damn it! That was my other guess.
Yeah, it was that one. That one
fuck.
made me laugh.
That doesn't count.
So hard.
I lost because I actually didn't guess. Damn it.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
We'll
That
have
was funny though.
one-
That episode
Never-
was really good.
It was. It was. I
Oh!
did really like the I failed. If the picture scene, if the selfie scene didn't happen, it would have been that. If that makes you feel any better.
I just thought of another one that I was really confident on. I was as confident on the scene as I was with the I failed one, and it was whenever the teacher gave Gojo her phone number. I was like, that's definitely one that had Skylar cracking up.
It was funny, but I thought it was even funnier that the teacher I thought was funnier in that one, not Gojo.
Yeah, that
Because
is fair.
the teacher's like, hey, I have a life too.
That's fair. It's funny as hell. I mean, the third episode, man. What the fuck? That was that was crazy. So, going into this third episode, the only thing I knew was that it was the second highest rated episode of anime ever. So I was like, well, I kind of have high expectations now going into it. So me and G started it, and we were watching a little cute segment, and we were like, this is pretty awesome. Like, I really like how great of a person Gojo and Geto are, and we're really interested in seeing where Geto goes as a character, because he seems like such a great guy, and they're just doing everything they can to take care of this girl and all that stuff, and Gojo's not sleeping, and he's just being a great lad. And then the sword goes through his chest, and me and G were like, oh.
You would not have understood what came out of mine and Lily's mouth whenever that happened. It was inaudible. It was not English. Dude. It was the closest thing I could say was demonic. We were so angry at what happened.
Dude, me and G, the only thing I could describe was just confusion. Me and G just went,
I was like,
oh. Our jaws dropped.
No way they did do that to my guy. No way.
So I gotta stop. Like in anime, I guess in Jujutsu Kaisen, I guess they can lie about what their powers are. I just assumed Gojo was invincible always. I didn't know he had to turn on or off his power. I thought it just was always on. I just realized it. That's why he has the fucking bandana. Is so that no one realizes when his powers are on or off.
Oh shit! Yeah, that would be.
That makes so much more sense than my other fucking dumbass theory.
Nah, your other one was so cool.
That makes so much more sense. I just put that together, but
can we talk about the beach scene more?
I love
how Gojo is so silly, goofy all the time,
and then
you learn that he hasn't slept in days. He's
I know.
not turning off his powers
at all. It was
so
He's good.
On 100% at all times in like 2 or 3 days. I love
that look of him in the hotel, just like sitting there with his eyes open, like, and they're just glowing, and I'm like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah, like the fact that like he understands Geto's there, but he does not want anything to happen whatsoever.
Oh, speaking of that, oh my god, Geto and Gojo's connection is beautiful. I love how much they trust each other, and it's really weird because there's not a lot of anime that really portray that kind of thing very well, other than just yelling, "I trust you." But they didn't do that. Like, Geto just understood that Gojo could handle things, and vice versa, and that was very incredibly shown at the end of the episode. At least in my opinion, whenever he just is like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but continue with your thing. Sorry, that just made me really excited.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, the more I think back on it, I think the beach scene alone, like, as much as what happened later, I think the beach scene might have been my favorite. Finding out that Gojo cared that much.
Yeah, no, dude, me too. It was such a great episode.
Like, he probably had an idea that they were trying to drain out his powers, but he didn't want to take the chance.
Well, actually, no, I don't think he thought that. I don't know, because he was confused as hell. He was very confused. He was like, her bounty's gone. Why are you coming after me? And he goes, well, that's crazy because I put up the bounty.
Yeah. But I also, side note, I love that he's a huge Digimon fan.
Yeah, no, that made me
For
so
no
happy.
reason.
That made me
He
really
just
happy. I
references it.
paused it. I paused it and I turned to G and I was like, "You don't understand that. You really don't." But that makes me happy.
Yeah. But back to Ghetto. I want to go to that last scene when he's like, "Why are you there?" And he's
Hmm.
like, "You know why I'm here." He's like,
Yeah.
"Because I killed Gojo."
Yeah.
And then he like, and that's whenever he's shot, and you can see Ghetto's face
Dude,
change
dude,
from.
that
I was like,
scene
"That's
was
such a
so
good
good.
ending.
So
That's like such a happy ending
from the
to such
start,
a sad episode."
from episode 1, the name of this little 6 episode arc is,
Gojo's fast,
I thought it was
right?
Unexpected Passing.
Oh wait. Okay, so I think the arc is, I think it's Hidden Gift or Hidden something.
Okay.
Um, is what like the actual episode title? It's been like part
Okay.
one, part two, part three.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but like the title of the 3 arcs together, I thought it was. I mean the 6 episodes. So there's this 6 episodes that is like has a name, and then the rest of the season is called the Shibuya District arc. So
Oh,
this first three, okay, start
it's been
talking about.
Hidden Inventory one, two, and three.
Okay, give me a second here.
But I thought the first 5 episodes were labeled Gojo's past, and then it went to the Shibuya district or whatever it was, the Shibuya whatever. You know, I thought that's what it was. Okay, but I'm gonna keep talking about that
Yeah,
last
keep
scene.
talking. I'm googling a thing.
So, like, I got to the end. Well, what I thought was the end, and they were like, and Getsu was like,
Oh,
"Don't
nope, nope.
worry."
Okay,
Like,
sorry, I almost clicked on
he's like,
a
"Don't
big
worry."
spoiler.
He's like, "They want to kill you. I won't let them kill you. Me and Gojo are the strongest ones here. We
Yeah,
won't let that happen."
and then
And then smile, and then it's just, and I was like, "What?" And
so
then
good, man, dude. I
Getsu's
was
face
not
went from
expecting that. What the
smiling
heck?
to like like to like what just happened. He looks over, sees
What are you doing?
hold on, I got a phone call and it switched me off. Okay,
Oh, you're
so
good, man. I
yeah,
paused for a second. I was like, "Why are you pausing? I'm the one doing something."
yeah. No, I was so confused because it would just took up my entire
No, you're
screen.
good.
Um, so I was like,
Do you watch it in English or
um,
Japanese?
dub. Well, I watched the first one dub, and then I've watched the other ones sub because I think the sub is better now.
I think this. Well, G thinks the sub is better. I think both are incredible, but
Both are incredible,
yeah.
but the I like Gojo's sub
Oh no,
voice
it's
now.
called Premature Death. It's called
Oh,
Gojo's Past slash Premature Death. So
okay.
since episode 1, whenever the title of the arc came across the screen, I was like, I need to know. I need to figure out who it is before it happens. Like I need that. Like that was my one goal when watching this. I was like, I
I
need
don't
to
think you
figure.
could have guessed it.
I
I feel like
didn't
I could.
know it was her, man. I actually kind of because the thing is, I like to theorize a little bit when I watch things. So whenever, again, spoilers, because her death was a spoiler, but there's an even bigger spoiler in that episode, which is when Gojo got fucked up and like stabbed to hell. That happened, and I was like, he's dead. Like they're gonna find some sort of jutsu thing to bring him back, but that's the premature death that no one was expecting. Like in my head, I was like, that's it, end of game. So whenever they showed Geto and the girl, I was like, how is Geto gonna fight against her after she goes to Tengen? And then right whenever I thought that, shot through the head, and I'm like, well, she's the premature
I
death,
think
I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I really like the end whenever Geto is like, "I will kill you."
yeah,
Like whenever he's like,
so good,
the
man.
second I saw his like, I'm just gonna call him portals. I forget the name.
Yeah,
His like things opening. I was like, "Oh, this guy is about to get an absolute ass whooping from Geto now.
I'm
He is pissed."
so because
Yeah,
Geta's little fight he had in episode 2 was incredible. I love the direction behind that of the guy flying into his life flashing before his eyes, and then it was playing like holy music as Geto was just beating the crap out of him. It's
yeah.
fantastic. So I'm really excited for his episode. I mean, his fight against Toji because Toji is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters in the show. There's a big meme going around that he is very stinky and he doesn't shower.
I've not seen that. I've
Really?
only seen everybody just taking his clothes and say, "I'm him now."
Yeah, he does.
But
He's just a bulky guy, but everyone's like for some reason, someone I guess on Crunchyroll, not. Was it? Yeah, Crunchyroll is where we watch that on. Bleach is Hulu. But someone commented on the first episode when we saw like maybe like 10 seconds of him, and it was just like a pan up. They were like, "Bro, looking at him, I know he does not shower, homie Stinky." And then the internet just took it, and then that's the headcanon is that Toji doesn't shower.
But I saw somebody. Do you remember? I forget his name. The one who fought Mahito with Itadori, the other
Yeah,
sorcerer.
Nanami.
Yes, Nanami. Thank you. I saw somebody put Nanami and Toji, and it's like, okay, honestly, who would win this fight? And
Dude,
I was
Toji is
like,
ripping his ass up. So
I know. Like,
G. I don't remember what was said in the episode, but G spoiled something for me related to Toji's power. What do we know about Toji?
he is the sorcerer killer.
Well, yes, but what did we learn about his power in episode 3? I don't remember.
He doesn't have a power, doesn't he? I don't think he has a power. He like I thought he was like
Okay,
he was
cool.
like
That's what he doesn't have
like
any
Gojo
spirit
attacked him.
energy, and
He
that's
had, like,
okay,
fierce
cool.
energy.
I couldn't remember if that was G told me that before episode 3, so I knew that I didn't know when that was introduced, so I didn't want to just say that and spoil it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I really thought that was cool. So he just like has Itadori strength, but like times 10 because he did it with a curse. Like he was like, "Hey, just give me some strength, man." That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it is. But oh man, where was I going with that?
No idea, brother. I'm
I
sorry.
had like something I wanted to say so bad.
So I was saying this before the podcast. I
Oh.
just gotta shut up, man.
I remember. So I went in to the 17 episodes. Well, is it 17? I think it's 5 and 12, right? Like
I thought
Gojo's Pass / premature death is 5, and then the Shibuya district is 12, so 17 total.
Oh, I thought it was 25 total.
Oh, well, that would be awesome. So I'm just gonna say 17 because that's my headcanon at the moment.
Okay.
So I know I went into this
Man, I'm
knowing
hungry.
Gojo was gonna get his ass kicked by one person. I was betting money. It was on episode like 2 away from the end. Episode 3 blew my goddamn mind with Gojo getting his absolute.
And you know
ass
what?
kicked. That he actually looked like he did not ever like. I don't even know. He genuinely didn't look like he knew what to do.
Well,
Like,
Toji was just way too prepared for it.
yeah, like I mean, it was really good planning.
And
Toji,
you know what, Skylar? I think he's gonna get fucked up even more. I think
by Gojo or Gojo.
I think Gojo is gonna get fucked up even more in the Shibuya district because if you think back, okay, I just wanna say I haven't read the manga, and the only thing G has accidentally saw while googling things about the show was that Toji did not have any spirit energy. So everything I'm saying right now is a theory, and I know nothing about it. In season 1, Jogo and Geto were talking, and Geto, knowing that Gojo gets fucked up in episode 3 of season 2, obviously that's not how he addresses it, but Geto knows that happened, and he still tells Jogo that you can't beat Gojo. He's like, there's no way to beat him. Right? That happens. He's like, you gotta trap him. You can't beat him.
Yeah. I remember that.
He says you have to trap him. You can't beat him. So Gojo in some time has just made it so that he can't get fucked up the way that Toji fucked him up that episode. So I think in the Shibuya district, Gojo is gonna get trapped because that's gonna be like everyone and their mom is like that's the shit. Like that little arc there, like that's the thing where everything is crazy. So
I've heard that like that's depression.
Yeah,
I've heard them say I can't cry for 12 episodes in a row.
Yeah, I think that Gojo gets captured, and then since he is like the entire allied force, I think all of the guys are just gonna be like, well, shit, and then just basically die to like all the other curses for a couple episodes. So I think that's what's gonna happen, and I think
I want to know how they heal Gojo because he clearly doesn't die because I see him.
I mean, he could die. Like, what if
he could just die and they just do like reverse curse or whatever.
He also,
talking about that. He's like, I could reverse him.
Yeah,
I could use like a reverse curse and bring him back. So technically, he could die. But like, my headcanon is
Itadori
died.
died.
He like barely lived. Like, yeah, that is true. He did have his heart ripped out of his chest.
Yeah. and
Yeah,
literally died. And then homie was like,
I
"Nah,
guess,
that's
yeah.
okay, bro."
Yeah, I guess that did happen. But in
Um,
my head canon, he doesn't die, but he's, like, on the brink of death, and he, like, figures something out, and he heals himself, and he's gonna go down. This is strictly theory. Um, I know nothing, but and it's gonna be it's Tojo. No, Toji?
Toji.
Toji. Yeah, Toji versus Geto down there, and it's gonna be an all-out brawl. And then Geto's gonna be like, he's gonna get like caught lacking one time, and like Gojo's gonna step back in. Like I don't know how, but
Maybe.
I feel like he's gonna re-enter the fight, and
So
he is going to be pissed that he lost because I do not take him as a very
he's a sore
I feel like
loser.
he's a very I feel like he's a very
Yeah.
sore loser, and he's gonna be pissed.
Bro, I
And
don't
he's
know,
like,
man. Getting stabbed in the throat. What the fuck are you gonna do about
he
that?
got stabbed in the throat, stabbed in the chest, and then
He got
slashed.
stabbed in the throat and it got dragged down. And then
Yeah,
Toji was like, "Let me just kept stabbing him." And I'm like, "Bro, what? You don't
yeah,
need to
bro,
do him that
like,
bad." Well, he actually probably
yeah.
does because he's Gojo, but
Yeah, but I have a very odd feeling that he isn't gonna die. He's gonna be really hurt, and he's gonna try and just do the best he can just to heal up his stuff as quickly as he
so
can, so he can get back down there. And he's a very sore loser again in my headcanon, and he is
yeah.
pissed.
So I have a theory. So this is my theory before the beautifully animated fight happened. I thought I didn't think that was gonna happen personally. I did not think Gojo was gonna get stabbed to
Me
hell.
neither.
I thought that Gojo was going to get like fucked up, not like that, like just get beat up and think he's gonna die. Like Toji was gonna like about to stab him in the head or something, and then
Mhm.
he awakens his infinity and gets his domain, and then he wins. Because if you remember back to season one, Mahito says that one of the ways to awaken your domain is like a near death experience. So
That would
that's
be
what I
crazy.
yeah that's what I was thinking, and that honestly still could happen because he's like about to die right now.
Yeah, can you? Yeah, that would be a cool
But can
way
you
for
even
Gojo to
bring
come
someone
back.
who doesn't have cursed energy into your domain?
I don't know.
Because you
I
can't use
really
your
don't.
your curse on them, right?
I actually don't know.
I don't fucking know either. All I know is I'm really excited for the next episode, and I'm really
I know.
excited to
I
see
think the
where
next
everything
like
goes.
two are gonna be fire.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they're all gonna be fire, but
Speaking
like,
of, I'm fucking so excited for the next episode of One Piece. The next 3 episodes of One Piece. I'm so goddamn excited for those. Episode 1070 is gonna be the return of Joy Boy, and then 1071 and 1072 are going to be the most beautifully animated fight scene ever. Sorry, Gojo and Toji.
I don't know. I genuinely think that Gojo. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't. Can you see Geto winning?
No.
I don't know if I can either. Because I
Well, I
mean,
think he's gonna
I
lose.
figure they're like relatively the same strength, and Gojo got kind of fucked up pretty quick.
Me and G. So I don't want to. Not a. It wasn't an argument. I guess it was a debate, but that sounds like negative.
Yeah,
But we weren't angry at each other. We were just discussing something about an anime. We
yeah,
were talking about when Geto gets the scar on his head, because obviously he doesn't have it now, and
yeah.
I was thinking, it happens like this season, so like I guess maybe Toji like cuts his head because it was during my theory in episode 2. Like, I was like, I gotta find out who dies early. I was like, it's gonna be Geto. Like they're gonna think he's dead, and it's because he got his like head cut off or something. I think or something like that. And then G was like, no, he gets his scar in the movie, and I don't remember that, but I don't know if that's because of my
With
poor
like
memory.
Utah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
she
My
said
memory
that
might be wrong too.
that he got his forehead scar in the movie when Ruka hits him, but I don't remember that. I remember him getting messed up, but I don't remember him getting that specific scar. So it's a very solvable issue because we could just watch the movie again.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
but
it's
we
very
just
good.
have not.
Utah is
It's
one
a
of
good
my
movie. I
favorites.
love that movie. We
Utah
should
is so
review
good.
that movie eventually.
We should.
It's a good one.
Oh my gosh, there was something else that I wanted to say. Oh my god, I
Yeah,
lost
because
it.
we're approaching an hour. It's honestly crazy how much like talk we got out of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah,
It's
kind
good
of.
though. Great stuff.
I mean, I'm so
Ah,
I'm so sad
nuts.
about that. It was. I thought it was such a good thing too. I was so ready to tell you.
I'm sorry. I just ramble sometimes. You really gotta stop me.
No, I joined in on your ramble. I was part of the problem.
I
Um,
just have to, I really want to like having someone to sit with me and watch episodes weekly is so nice because it really allows my theoriness to go because she feels my go ahead.
sorry, cutting you off. I remember it. Um,
Good. I wanted you to cut me off. I need to shut up.
so I keep seeing it keeps popping up on my TikTok for you page now
Yeah.
because I watched one episode, so everything's popping up. So I keep seeing it's like every time Geto sees like the world, it's bright and it's like colorful and everything like that. And every time Gojo sees it, it's black, except for Geto. Because it's like Geto
Are
had the
you leading
world.
to them being gay? I'm me and G know that for a fact. Like it is so obvious. Like
No, you're not cutting me off yet. I'm not done. No. Shut up and listen. So, and then it was like Geto had everything and he like found his path, but Gojo had nothing and he kind of got lost along the way from like what he was doing. So now
yeah,
he only sees like specific parts of the world, and while Geto sees everything because he's doing like he found his actual path.
yeah,
And that like that's why Gojo gets super excited whenever he sees anyone or introduces anyone because it's like he's never had like a lot of people with him.
yeah.
So like there was like one clip of like Itadori hugging him and Gojo, he looks so happy. And whenever he finds like gets Megami, I don't know how I don't remember how Megami got there, but
It gets
whenever
sold.
Megami was on the street and he picked him up, he looked so happy because he had somebody else again and
Yeah.
that he was so tired of being alone.
Oh, that's adorable. I never
Yeah.
put that together. That's really cute. But yeah,
Yeah.
Geto and Gojo are gay.
Okay. Yeah, but that's what I've been trying. That's what I forgot about.
That's
That
adorable. I love that.
yeah.
That's a
it-
detail I never noticed or never saw someone put together. I
yeah. Gojo's doesn't see everything because he doesn't notice everyone, but Geto sees everything.
that's beautiful. I like that. It's kind of
Yeah.
poetic.
And maybe that's why that's another thing with his eyes covered. He
Maybe.
doesn't want to see the world, he only sees dark.
Maybe. Or maybe he's really sad that his boyfriend is now evil.
Yeah,
And that's how he's hiding it. He's hiding his sadness through his
yeah.
bandana. He's really upset
Yeah.
about it. But like it's so isn't it? It's so obvious, isn't it? It's definitely like at every turn, me and G are like that. There was so much tension in the basketball scene.
I take it as brotherly love
There
because
was
Gojo,
there was so much tension in the basketball scene. It was crazy. There was
bro,
so
Gojo's a
much.
baller. Shut
There was
up.
so much tension. There was so they definitely left that court and then immediately made out.
Okay, so going along with my Gojo's never had anyone ever, so I think that might be why Gojo's so attached is that he doesn't want to be alone again.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
why
Because
he's always like
he
fighting for
loves
everybody.
his boyfriend.
Yeah, honestly, that works both ways. Boyfriend and boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. We can leave it there for now.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
leave it
really.
up for debate. Do you think it's a boyfriend or a friend that's a boy?
I know
Let us know in the comments.
everyone's gonna be on my side. I know that for a
Vote
fact.
Skylar or
Skylar,
Zach.
Skylar,
Vote your option.
Does Lily think this way? Does Lily think this way?
As in like
My
way, or
way.
your way?
My way.
I don't know. I haven't asked
Ask
her. I
her.
kind of came up with
Ask her.
I'll text her and then I'll text you after and you can update them and Barbie.
That sounds good. I guarantee she does. I guarantee everyone who watches it with the idea that they could be gay, you're gonna be like, fuck. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I think you personally are gonna be like, fuck. He's right.
He's right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's what we'll keep you coming back for Barbie. If you don't like Barbie enough, we'll find out what Lily thinks.
If you guys are curious about Skylar's opinion on Gojo and Geto's relationship, come back for our Barbie episode later this week.
Yeah, I'll rewatch the episodes before then. I'll try.
Other than that, keep an eye out for our my One Piece video that it's coming out. It's coming out on our channel.
And the Mediak TikTok coming out.
In the Mediak TikTok, where I'm gonna put a little bit of highlights of this episode. I'll probably get that up today. No, tomorrow. I'll get it up tomorrow. It's kind of late already. I'm gonna go play Zelda. I had a rough day at the shop.
Thanks.
If you guys wanna comment down below and recommend a movie for us to review, or if you guys wanna pick a TV show that you think would be fun for me to talk about over a bunch of clips of it, that just let me know. Go over to our Instagram at Mediak Podcast. Go over to our Twitter, or You see that Twitter's changing? It's gonna be called X now.
I did not see that.
Yeah, so go over to our X,
Our X. Yeah.
our
Go see
Mediak
our X.
Mediak podcast. It's Twitter still until for a while, but yeah. Other than that, I guess we'll see you guys later this week with Barbie.
There you go.
Adios.